Hello friends, in this video for the chapter DC circuits we will be going through three topics. First we will discuss the current and voltage. We will define the resistors and then we will define the relationship between current, voltage and the resistors. So let's start with current. Current is defined as the rate of flow of charges. We will see what do we mean by the term flow of charges. So let us consider the whole setup at a microscopic scale. Then we can see, let's say if there is a charge Q and across its two ends or two terminals I am applying a potential difference. So let's say one end is kept at a higher potential and the second end is kept at a lower potential. But by the rules of electrostatics we know that due to the difference in potential there will be an electric field which is induced between them. We know that a charge placed in an electric field will experience a force F which is proportional to the charge and is in the direction of the electric field. This force will make this charge flow from the higher potential level to the lower potential, and thus if we are taking a cross section and we are monitoring the charge which is going past that cross section, we can say that okay, with respect to time the flow of charge is defined as current. Similarly, if we have more charges like Q here, then all of these charges will experience a force and they'll try to move from the point of higher potential to the lower potential, and thus we can define the rate of flow of charges at a particular cross section. Now let's go back and look at the macroscopic level of the whole setup. So let's say I have a conductor, and we know that the property of a conductor is that it has many charges inside it. So I have a conductor and there are many charges inside it, and I have applied a potential difference across its ends. So the whole thing which we have discussed will take place in this conductor as well, and there will be forces acting on all of these charges, and there will be a current induced which we will define by dq by dt by the same formula which represents this statement, dq by dt. Talking with respect to this chapter, we know that the metals are a type of conductor, and the property of metals is that they have free electrons. By free electrons we mean that whenever an electric field or a potential difference has been given, they are free to move in that electric field. But because the electrons are negatively charged particles, they will experience a force which is in the direction opposite to that of the electric field. Thus the motion of electrons will be from right to left, that is from low potential point to the high potential point. Thus it gives rise to an important property of the current, that current is in direction opposite to electron motion. So if the positive charges are going from high potential to low potential, so as the current is also going from high to low potential, while we know that the electron motion will be from low to high potential. So the discussion about current gives rise to the three important properties which we have discussed. First of all is that the rate of flow of charges is defined as current. The second is that the current has a direction opposite to the direction of electron motion, thus the same direction as of the positive charges. And third is that current always moves from high potential to low potential. Because of the third property, To make a current flow within a circuit, we apply a potential difference, which is V high minus V low. And this potential difference is being provided by a cell or a battery. A cell or a battery has a specification of either E or V, which is same as this potential difference, which they will provide when they are connected in a circuit, and they will induce this current whenever they are put into a circuit. But what is the relationship which defines or relates the potential difference which has been applied and the current which has been induced in the circuit? So for this, we know that Ohm's law defines that relationship. It says that the potential difference which has been applied is proportional to the current which is induced in the circuit. And there is a proportionality constant, which is R, which completes this relationship. R is known as the resistance of the element. The element can be a conductor, a metal, or anything through which we are applying a potential difference, and the current is induced in that element. But for practical purposes, let us assume that we have taken an element, and we are not changing the shape, size, material of that element. Then we say that the resistance is constant for an element, and that element is what we have chosen for our circuit. But overall, if I have two elements with same material but different shapes and sizes, will the resistance be same? So that question comes, and to answer that question, we will define the relationship of the resistance with respect to the material. So this is resistivity, which depends on the material, and this is length, and this is cross-section area. So the resistance of an element is dependent on its material as well as its length and cross-section area. So if I have two elements with same material but different length and cross-section area, then the resistance will be different. But if I have two identical elements with same material, same length and same cross-section area, then the resistance will be constant and same. Similarly, in a circuit, we assume that whatever element we have chosen from starting, all these things are not changing at all and the resistance remains constant. So overall, now we know that the Ohm's law has three components: the voltage which is induced, the resistance which is the property of the element through which that potential difference has been applied, and the current which is induced due to these two. Thank you.